Hi everybody, I thought I would jump on this bandwagon of doing a top 10 metal albums, because I know a band 5 did one, and Extremely Boring did one, and then You Had Me at Hayek did one, and I thought, yeah, I might as well jump on this and we'll see if we can get this train going a bit, see how many people might want to jump on board. So yeah, unfortunately my choices aren't going to include anything in the kind of new metal or other weird subgenres of metal kind of area. I'm pretty old school when it comes to heavy metal, so we're going to be looking at a lot of that. These aren't going to be in any particular order, but I thought I'd get Metallica out of the way first. Now, Metallica are kind of a disappointing band when you think about it. They've done a fair bit of crap. I'm thinking of stuff like Saint Anger, but I think if I had to pick a favourite album, I'd say And Justice for All. I think that was the era, certainly the 80s was really the era for Metallica. That's when they were putting out really good content. I actually had a re-listen to Death Magnetic recently, just to see if maybe if I gave it another listen it might sort of, excite me a bit more than it had first time round, but nah, it's pretty bland. It's a return to style, but it's not a return to form. It's pretty boring. So, And Justice for All, I think, is probably the Metallica album for me. I think, yeah, largely because it's got One on there. I think One has got to be one of the best Metallica tracks ever written. So Metallica were awesome. They made awesome records around this time, but yeah, very much lost their edge since, unfortunately. Next, what do we got? Yeah, let's have a look at this. Yeah, Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. That's too reflective, isn't it? You can see me there. This album's probably maybe a bit scratched by now because I've had it for a few years. Left outside the box for a while, but yeah, it's probably one of the better Guns N' Roses albums. It's and the other ones, not to say other albums aren't good, but this one's probably got some of the best songs on it. I mean, we've got Night Train, which is awesome, and Mr. Brownstone and tracks like that. I think this is probably the definitive Guns N' Roses album. Use Your Illusion 2 is good though. I'd say it's a good album. I've not really heard all of Use Your Illusion 1 though. I'm not that impressed by what I have heard of it, but yeah, I think Appetite for Destruction is probably going to be my favourite Guns album. Okay, next up, let's have first Van Halen album. Now, Van Halen, again, they're a band that have put out some less than spectacular material in the past. In fact, the second Van Halen album was very disappointing. Give or take a couple of tracks. But other than that, it was a very disappointing album. There's a lot of Van Halen did way too many covers as well than is acceptable for an original band. But the first Van Halen record, pretty awesome in my opinion. It's a really pretty good track listing. We've got tracks like Running with the Devil is ace. Eruption is pretty cool. And even there's a couple of covers. You Really Got Me and Ice Cream Man, but they're good as well. Ain't Talking About Love is an awesome riff. Definitely one of the best riffs there is. So I think first Van Halen record, pretty awesome. Okay, other stuff they did was disappointing, but that doesn't make that album any less of a good album. Okay, Dream Theater, Images and Words. Yeah, I'm not normally a progressive kind of, progressive metal kind of guy, prog rock kind of guy, but this album I really like. I quite like Dream Theater, and this particular album I think is probably the best one. I think of the ones I've got. I've only got a couple of their albums, but yeah, pretty good. Only 8 tracks, but that's because they're really long progressive tracks. And some particular highlights for me on this album. Well, the opening track's good. Pull Me Under is pretty awesome. And Metropolis Part 1. That's a pretty awesome kind of track. Lots of time changing, awesome synth, awesome keyboard player as well in Dream Theater. I can't remember his name. I'll have to look it up. Oh, this is what's for what it's worth. Okay. I think it's Kevin Moore, is it? I've just suddenly remembered. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is Kevin Moore. Brilliant. There we got it. Kevin Moore, yeah. Our favourite focus, but we get the idea. So that's Dream Theatre there. Next up, Joe Satriani, Crystal Planet. Yeah, an awesome Joe Satriani album, in my opinion. Some particular highlights. Lights of Heaven is awesome. It's got a really nice, awesome rolling feel to it. Sorry, I just mentioned Lights of Heaven, didn't I? What am I doing? Love Thing, an awesome kind of ballady track. Really nice bit of guitar work on that. Some very nice phrasing. So yeah, that's probably my favourite Joe Satriani album. I've only got a couple again. I'm not normally like a big speed metal fan either. Like I can't stand listening to Steve Vai. I find that Steve Vai for the most part to be pretty hideous, but Joe Satriani, pretty cool. I think he's actually got a good ear for a melody. So yeah, that's Crystal Planet by Joe Satriani. Okay, Megadeth. I'd include a Megadeth album. I've got to be honest, I haven't listened to this one in a while, but I do remember enjoying it quite a lot. This is Euthanasia by Megadeth, and yeah, it is a good album. I mean, I haven't listened for a while. Obviously, it's the one with the two Le Monde on it, which is probably the most famous track off it. That's probably the most famous Megadeth track as well. But yeah, I mean, it's a good album. I will have to re-listen to it though. But I do remember finding this one to be probably one of my favourite metal albums. Okay. Yeah, let's bring in this one. That's Rage Against the Machine by Rage Against the Machine. Again, I haven't listened to this in a while either, but it's probably one of the few examples of metal with rapping in it that I actually like. And there's amazing guitar work from Tom Morello, lots of pickup switchy kind of stuff with the pickup selector. So obviously, yeah, I mean, we hear tracks like Killing in the Name all the time and Bullet in the Head. I mean, yeah, you do hear some of those at rock nights all the time, but yeah, that's a good album. But again, like Megadeth, I'm probably going to have to give it a listen again. But yeah, also got one of the few bands that can really do politics, meld politics with music quite well. So I'm all in favour of that, but it's difficult to get it right, and I think they do it pretty well. Okay. Ugly Kid Joe, Menace to Sobriety. Ugly Kid Joe were probably the first band to really get me into heavy metal. I think they were the first metal band I remember actually liking. It wasn't this album, it would have been the more famous one, the America's Least Wanted, but this album's one of the ones I own. Yeah, some pretty awesome tracks, notably The Milkman's Son sticks out at me. Tomorrow's World is also nice. And yeah, Jesus Rode a Harley. Yeah, so that's a bold title if ever there was one. That is a good song, worth listening to. I may link some of these songs if I can find them within the description. Okay, Therapy, Nurse. Now, Therapy, if you've not heard of them, they were one of the pioneers for merging heavy metal with punk and creating pretty awesome sound. It's not grunge though. That's not the kind of heavy metal and punk we're getting here. Therapy, pretty awesome. Some highlights of this album: Disgraceland is a good track. I mean, they're all good tracks, but Teeth Grinder is awesome. That's one with a lot of what's the best way to describe it? Some great drums, an awesome kind of drum beat on that one. So yeah, I would recommend that to anyone if you like the idea of a hybrid of punk and metal. Therapy, probably a good band to go for. This album, as I remember, again, I haven't listened to it in a while, I think is a bit low mastered in the mix. You might have to crank your speakers up a bit, but yeah, brilliant. And the number one spot has to go to drumroll, the Almighty, also known as the All Fucking Mighty. And this particular album I've chosen here is All Proud, All Live, Almighty, which is a double live album they recorded in 2008 when they got back together. And I think, yeah, it's got a lot of the best songs there and the live versions, which makes them extra awesome. Some highlights here would be Jesus Loves You But I Don't. Some another song possibly antagonising the religious there. Jonestown Mind is awesome. That's probably my favourite Almighty song, if I had to pick one. It's brilliant. Also, Stout is good as well, because even though it's a live version, they still got the horn section in to play on it. They didn't just say sod it, we won't do it. Or, and they didn't just get a keyboardist to do it. They kept the horn section in, which is awesome. So yeah, if you've not heard of the Almighty before, well worth checking out. If you've heard of the Black Star Riders, which is the new Thin Lizzy lineup, yeah, it's their singer Ricky Warwick, who used to be in the Almighty, is now the singer for the new Thin Lizzy, aka the Black Star Riders. So if you're wondering what Ricky Warwick used to do before he was in the Black Star Riders, what he used to sound like, this is what you want to check out. So yeah, that's my top 10 metal albums there, you know, off the top of my head anyway. I should give, in true Watch Mojo style, I should give some honourable mentions here. I mean, the reason I didn't put anything by Iron Maiden, or Black Sabbath, or Ronnie James Dio, or Diamond Head in here, and those are all awesome bands, the only stuff I actually own by them is compilation type stuff. I only own greatest hits and things like that. I don't actually seem to own actual albums by them, which is odd, so that's maybe something I want to look into, see if I can sort that out, get a few more actual albums by those bands when I get a chance. Obviously when I get some money, I should say. But yeah, let me know what you think, everyone. Goodbye.